Happy Wine Wednesday, everybody. It's another episode of the Swirl Suite. Today we talk wine and politics with family of the podcast. She's not even a friend. She is family to all of us. Brionna Jimmerson of Bree Books Podcast. Brionna lives in New York. She gardens. She loves beauty. She loves food. She loves wine. We have a great time talking with her about wine politics, tariffs, and more wine. And we hope you enjoy the show. Cheers. Welcome to the Swirl Suite, everybody. Happy Wine Wednesday. Hey, y'all. How y'all doing? It's snowing here.
Yes,
Right.
It is. And ice. Did you get ice, Sarita?
Well, I haven't been outside, so I'm assuming it's ice out there.
Just you want to peek out the window, just a little.
I mean, one, I had nowhere to go. And two, I mean, I'm good.
Aren't the days like that? Like, where are we going? Like, where are you getting in the car? Where are we going?
Yeah.
Or walk around the block with the dog. I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
Nothing. Where are we going?
That's it. And even if you did want to go to a restaurant on Monday, a lot of restaurants are closed here on Mondays. That's like their off day.
Same.
This week isn't this restaurant week?
Oh, it is.
It is restaurant.
It is restaurant week. Yeah. I'm not participating in that. Mm-mm.
Wait, some
places
restaurants open, or is it like specials to go?
Certain parts of Maryland and I think DC, they are open with 25% capacity. And of course you can still eat outside, but who wants to do that? It's below freezing. That would not be fun. And even if you're in a dome or something, that's still cold. So
the dome might be cute. I mean, you gotta have somebody warm you up. This is not no girls' night out. This no.
I agree. There's no like jeans and a cute top season right now.
Yeah. Absolutely not.
Yeah. But you could order out.
Oh, it's just something about going somewhere and someone serving you something like, here is your food, and they bring it directly to you.
And then they take it away along with the dirty
dishes. Yes.
Like, I want that experience again.
Yeah, that I do miss. So
I'm gonna start ordering delivery because I'm tired of dishes.
I haven't been as excited about restaurants with the takeout situation, but
you can just do that yourself. Because it's not pretty. The whole part about dining out, I mean, the food comes to you beautifully plated and it's garnished and all this.
I mean, they ask you if you want another drink. I mean, it's just, that seems glorious right now. That seems like such a treat right now.
And it seems like it has been
it's all about health.
I've heard that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, man, would you like another? Like, no one's coming through here asking me, man, would you like another? No, I'm asking myself, would you like another? Why, yes, I would. Nobody bringing me more napkins, nothing. Nobody's refilling my water.
Nobody washes the dishes. Sometimes I'm like, why do I use a dish every time I eat? Like, is there a way to not use them so I don't have to wash them?
Right.
I forgot paper plates last week. I got up the next morning at like 7 and went to Wegmans. I was like, I'll be damned if I wash another plate this week. So it's crazy. Like what y'all see on Instagram, I use one plate because I use so many other dishes to cook, pots and utensils and stuff.
I can't even imagine your kitchen.
Yeah. It was.
You season and stuff, and then you use separate bowls because you're like, okay, I put an egg mixture in this, and then I put a seasoned mixture together in this. You use 3 different pots, pans, and skillets.
But the thing is, I don't even go hard like some other Instagram chefs where they have like, the what do you call those little cups? The little white cups?
The little ramekins?
Oh, yeah.
Ramekins where they put every little seasoning. I don't even do that, and I have a lot of dishes. I can't imagine what their kitchens look like. So, yes.
Yeah, that's why a lot of stuff, when people, it's so cute when they have it in those separate little containers.
It is cute.
If y'all don't pour it straight off the salt shaker, like I'm not else together. Like, why are you doing this? Like, why are you cracking an egg to put it in something and then put it in the dish?
Because you visualize it, and people like that, and people like to hear the sounds of everything, and it's a thing.
Well, you see, I don't cook on Instagram, so that's not my gift.
The question is, do you cook at all? Though?
I do. I gotta eat. Like I must eat.
I love your snacking and drinking content, Tanisha. I think like that's your niche.
That's it. You know, like let me just get this little quick apero snack, put that together, drink something with it, and go on about my business. I'm gonna eat these hot chips, food, wine. That's it.
Oh, can I tell y'all? So I have Discovery Plus now. I was fighting it. I was fighting it for some weeks because what they did was they strong armed people into getting Discovery Plus. They took your favorite shows off of the cable channel and put it on the app. Yeah, so it's the only way that you could watch it. So I was like, all right, cooking channel. I'm not that attached. But then when they took the Black cooking shows and put it on there, I was like, oh, you're killing me. And then one of my other favorite shows to watch is The Pimple Popper. They moved her. They moved her whole show on Discovery Plus. I was like, what? All right.
They knew what you came for.
Fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
They knew what they was doing.
So I did it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that because she was showing new episodes recently on regular TV?
Nope. Last week, they're all on Discovery Plus.
Oh, my goodness.
So that's why I bit the bullet. But I also started watching Jada and Bobby's show where I think they spend a month in Italy. And, you know, she's Italian. So they go to Rome, Tuscany, and I forget, maybe one other city. But anyway, they're just walking around Italy, eating fantastic food, eating gelato. And of course, this is pre-COVID. So everything is all out in the open. Mm-hmm. It's just, I felt like I had a dream about Italy the next day. Everything was, and of course they go to wine country and they're sipping from these huge, fantastic Burgundy glasses. It was a blow. Yeah. But the show is so good. It's good. It's pretty.
Meanwhile, you at home on the couch eating popcorn out of
I'm saying. And then, I mean, you know how you looking at a cooking show and you start looking around like what do I have? I've got to have something.
You like, I got spaghetti.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Just the noodles, not even like the rest of the things to go with.
Well, we have a special guest today. She is family of the show. Bree, how are you?
Hey guys, I'm Brionna Jimmerson, host of Bree Books podcast, and I'm also manager of social media at Glamour Magazine. And I'm just so happy to be back on Swirl Suite. I have to tell you, literally since like December, any episode that you guys drop, I just immediately I'm like, well, it's time to just do my dishes, make my dinner, and listen to Swirl Suite. And the one after January 6th is still the only podcast I've listened to, like on and around that day, because I was like, I don't want to hear anyone else talk about any of this except y'all. So yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Oh, yay. Thank you.
She flatters us, so
I mean, wow.
Girl, we're gonna hit up your little cash app. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. So Bree, how are things in New York? How are you?
Oh, how am I? It's like, how am I doing?
Yeah.
Things in New York are slow, as you can imagine. I have been keeping myself very busy by keeping my local natural wine shop, trying to save the economy, do what you can where you can. So I just run her little 80, 120 every 3 days. Anyway, I've just been trying to fill up my time with a lot of journaling, a lot of reading, learning about finances, learning about politics, which is so cool that we're doing this episode about like wine and politics. Just really trying to fill my days as much as possible without overexerting myself at my day job. Yeah, so that's me. Oh, I've also, y'all know I love gardening. And today I was supposed to start my seeds indoors, but I'm going to do it tomorrow because I think it's something kind of funny about like starting seeds in the middle of a snowstorm.
So when you say start your seeds indoors, what does that mean?
I'm happy you asked that, Sarita. What that means is we will be using these little pellets. And in every one of these pellets, we're going to put in about 2 seeds, fill this up with water, and in about 6 to 8 weeks, they'll be big enough to be transplanted into a larger pot before they can go in the ground. So I have about 30 different fruits and veggies I'm going to start and then just pop this right on the windowsill. Yeah, so that's what we.
Oh, I want to do that. Oh, do they need direct sunlight? Because I don't get direct sunlight on my windowsill.
Well, if you want to, I'll send you a link to a really fun DIY grow light. You just take one of those like tubs, a Walmart tub, I love that sound. Put a light bulb in the top of it, and just close it up, and that just makes like a sunny box. So you just put that in the corner of your living room, and that's it. If you have a south-facing window, you want to put your seeds on that window. But if you don't have a south-facing window, you can just make like a little grow box out of a crate even. Yeah, it doesn't need too much light.
You also probably
once you do that.
I'm sorry?
Once you do that, are you going to do like an above ground garden, or
no? I'm going to do an above ground, a raised bed garden. So like the same thing that everyone can do in their backyards. You know, it's not like Mississippi going and, you know, like turning and tilling the dirt. It's New York City soil, and I really don't want to do that. But just build a raised bed about 6 inches off the ground. Even if you have a balcony or a milk crate, fill that up with some hay and some potting soil and just get started right in there. But I'm not going to be putting anything like into the physical, you know, like first layer ground. I could if I trusted the soil, but no, I'm like envisioning all four of us with like little tomatoes and new veggie babies this season.
Yeah, eating tomatoes, yes. Eating tomatoes that I grew, girl, your hopes are here. I need you to bring them. I need you to bring them down. I got a green grocer. I'm going to just go hit him up.
I feel inspired.
You should, especially after her Instagram posts and her videos.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Don't worry. When I start these seeds, I'm going to do a whole little thing on how to do it.
My collards are growing nicely in the front yard. I have to take a picture outside tomorrow. But yeah, they look really nice.
Will they freeze because of the snow? Do they go dormant?
Well, you know what? That's a question for Bree, but I know with grapevines. I know with grapevines.
Like, girl, I don't know. Ask Bree.
But no, with grapevines like the snow because it's like insulation. So it sort of protects the soil and everything. Yeah. Bree, is that the same way for other vegetables?
It is for collard greens, and collard greens get sweeter after a frost. Yeah. So when you go cut them or, you know, harvest them, they'll probably have like a little bit of sugar in it because like the plant, it's freezing. So it converts its energy into making sugar. And that's why like radishes are better after a frost, carrots, beets, like all root vegetables just get a little bit sweeter after it's gotten cold. And the same thing happens with frost tolerant greens like kale and collard greens and mustard greens. So you're in for a treat, lady. Can't wait to see it.
I'm excited. I mean, it's a very small plant, but the leaves look great. I just have to figure out, bugs got to them this summer. So I need to figure that out before it gets warm. Any suggestions? This is my last garden question.
Yes, neem oil. I have an oil about it. Neem oil. You can get it at Target for like $9.99. It also is great for your hair and skin. It's from the neem tree, but to bugs, it's toxic. So, yeah.
All right.
All you need, mix that with a little bit of dish soap in a spray bottle. Spray it on your plants early in the morning because you don't want the sun to like beat down on it, and then you're good to go.
Okay. Man, you are a wealth of knowledge.
You tell I'm an only child with nothing to do. Is it show?
And hey, at least you got a skill. I'm like, I
go
on Netflix, but like I can't tell you about gardening.
Lupin, have you watched Lupin?
Yes.
Yes.
Of course.
I haven't watched it.
Yeah,
not yet.
It's
no,
time.
I have to sit down because I have to read because I'm usually watching TV while doing other stuff.
Oh no, you gotta.
I have to commit and watch.
I mean, you could put it in English, but it'll be dumb. Just let's do French.
I wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah.
So our topic today is wine and politics. I actually don't know much about this area, but I've been reading some articles, especially with us having a new president and all of that. Yeah, we got some new tariffs that were announced at the beginning of the year. And yeah, I just wanted to talk about it with you guys. No, but I've been reading a lot about the position of being a lobbyist. And I was reading this article about this guy who decided to leave the position because he it was battling his conscience. He couldn't sleep at night. He was pretty much saying it was just I was handing over money for bills to get passed. And I know it's a lot more to lobbying than that. Like I said, I don't know a whole lot about this subject, but you know who's a lobbyist? Allie, Glass After Work. She's a lobbyist.
Oh, miss, I don't do vegetables.
She's going to kill us. She's going to kill us. But people were saying that that may be why there was a tariff for Parmesan single malt whiskey. Is a 25% tariff, but not for Prosecco or Scotch. So perhaps
depends on what people like and what people want to lobby for. Oh, for sure.
And perhaps the right palm wasn't greased.
I feel like that. I was about to say Hollywood. I feel like that about DC and that whole machine anyway, that all of it is a lot of pay for play.
Yeah.
Kind of thing in some shape, form, or fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately. Because it was very interesting that when the tariffs first came out, that they were on certain things and not on others.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't make sense what it was for, like how it was largely on French things.
Right.
Not necessarily Italian things. So, I mean, yeah, that came about partially because of the law Macron put into place against large companies in the US. And so it was like kind of a retaliation for that. But then when other things started getting tariffs too, then it was like, wait a minute, what is this really about? And so then that's when I did a little reading up on lobbying and what it all involved. And
yeah, there was a guy in the article that pretty much said, and I'll put the 3 articles that I'm talking about in the description box, but he was pretty much saying, until you take money out of the equation, then politics is always going to be greasy. It's never really about the politics. It's about the money. Who's getting paid?
It's always about the money. It's always about the money.
Yeah.
I always thought all over the world. Tariffs. Oh, I always thought those tariffs were personal. The former carrot-faced president, his own biases against certain countries. And that's why you didn't see them in Italy. And I thought it was personal, specifically taking wine out of the equation when they put tariffs on tequila from Mexico. I was like, that is personal.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
That was very personal. And it could have just been, this under the umbrella of being a nationalist and buy American. But it doesn't, I don't think until it gets to the point where it is super cost prohibitive, it's not going to stop people from buying buying imports.
And also it's not the same. Like a lot of the arguments when people were, on the Hill arguing about the tariffs in the first place, the argument against it was like, oh, well, people can just buy American. It's not the same.
No.
I want to buy a Bordeaux, then I want to buy a Bordeaux. You're not going to give me a substitute for that in America.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, okay, a Bordeaux blend in America. It is still not the same. People who drink one or want to buy one, that's what they want to buy. They don't want to buy the other. Those things aren't interchangeable.
Mm-hmm.
So it's no substitute in that. So, that argument,
yeah. And I saw 2 examples of the tariff increase. So if you were to buy a bottle of Rhone Red, before the tariffs, that bottle would be $25. Now it's $33 or $34. And then that's bottle. If you're talking about restaurants who are already getting hit hard, a glass, there was one lady, she says she has 9 restaurants across New York, LA, and I forgot the other city, but a glass of Sancerre was $12 and now it's $20. I'm not getting that glass of wine. I don't know
Well,
I don't know the last time I paid that
Sancerre,
much for a glass. Well, yeah, sure. But I mean, she picked a popular, she was just like, that's my bread and butter, Sancerre. People will pay that, I know, but I don't know if people are going to pay that $20 for as much as they love it. I just don't know.
For a glass?
A glass.
Not literally
Not
in
a
this
glass.
economy, not a chance.
No, if it's $20, it's like, oh, never mind. I'm gonna get a bottle and go home.
Yeah, I think
exactly.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, please go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I think in maybe restaurants that might be the only instance where, and it still wouldn't be interchangeable with people like, okay, now I'll drink American or drink something else.
No,
but they'll drink what's on the menu because you have it. I think that's the only time where they're like, okay, I'll drink this. But when they're trying to buy bottles for their home and the things that they want to enjoy at home, then no, it's not interchangeable. They're going to buy what they want, or they just won't buy it. It's not like, all right, I couldn't get this French wine, let me buy American. No, they'll just be like, I won't buy anything. And I know that would be, like, I can't have this. Well, I don't want nothing.
And I don't know truly if we will see the effect of the tariffs.
When you say we, you mean we as in Americans or wine people?
Both. Because if restaurants are reduced to a certain capacity, right? And from my understanding, just speaking to different distributors, like they've changed their whole business model of who they're selling wine to, because they're not selling wine so much to restaurants, that you may not see the full effect, like the effect of the tariffs may not be present in the restaurants because people aren't frequenting the restaurants as much, and how distributors are changing their business model to sell it. You may not see that impact until the world opens up again and people are looking for those options.
Yeah. I want to read this quote from Food and Wine magazine. So it pretty much says that, in fact, nearly everyone in the U.S. who works with European wine is hoping that the Biden administration will reverse the tariffs. Then a few sentences down said, with the decline in travel, you're seeing a shift in the way people buy wine, a shift in taste, and it's a market that's in movement at the moment. So, and then the last sentence I want to quote is, the combination of protectionism, a generational shift in the way people live their lives means we're not going back to the way things were 3 years ago, even if the tariffs get lifted.
Agreed. Like, I don't, there's not a whole lot else to say there. Yeah, agreed. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out when things get more back to normal, air quotes. With people going back out to eat, restaurants being back open, people maybe changing up their drinking habits, things like that. How pricing will look then, because things have been closed and things have been kind of dormant for so long. Will we, like, what effect we'll see from the tariffs from there? Will people just be raising their prices just because they need to, because people haven't been buying for so long? Will they lower their prices because they want people to buy because people haven't been buying? How will this play out? I think now there is something else on top of the tariffs, another problem on top of the tariffs that we have to take into consideration too.
Yeah.
I think one thing that's interesting that I've noticed, and I would love to know, Tanisha and Leslie and Sarita, from your perspectives in different cities, about restaurants offering wine bottles as part of takeout and delivery. I think that is definitely kind of changing it's blurring the lines between restaurant grade wine, kind of that bottle that you splurge on, versus a house wine that you would get just for yourself. It's like the classic thing, when you have friends over, you have Belvedere, but when you're by yourself, you have like Mad Dog 4040 or, like something like that. Sorry, was that triggering? Do we want to talk about it?
Girl,
no, it's clear, Bree, that you don't drink it because it's
right. I was gonna say, right, girl. I was gonna put that in half, girl. 2020.
Listen, sorry, Mad Dog 2020, not 4040.
It's okay to have standards, Bree. Don't.
Oh,
Right.
that's all
She's-
right, girl.
She done straight elevated him. She's like, no, it's 40-40.
Sorry.
No, that's Jay-Z. That's Jay-Z.
Oh gosh.
So happy right now. No, but what I'm thinking is people's attitudes and behaviors around wine are changing so rapidly, and the geopolitical implications are humongous. I think now people are really thinking about, not just where does my wine come from, as in where are the grapes from, but really, how far did this bottle have to travel to get to me? And I feel like that part of the behavior, to your point, Sarita, like, there is no going back to that. There is no going back to the time before when you would just scan a menu, pick the second most expensive thing, because now you're kind of really thinking about, do I have this $25-$30 to spare?
Mm-hmm.
And you're thinking about, how can I get the most value from my liquor or from my wine and spirits and anything at this moment? And I'm very curious about the behavioral shifts that are taking place and how people are buying wine, because I'm noticing it more every day. And I think people are just being a little bit more intentional about their discretionary spending, especially right now when it comes to things that are, true luxuries like, wine and spirits.
Well, the cost of wine has gone down because there's been so much of a boom of people being at home and buying wine that it's driven the cost of wine down. And then the other thing is, in the beginning of 2020, there was a report that came out. I think it should be coming out soon for 2021. But, the big prediction was millennials were going to start buying more wine, and they didn't because of the advent of the seltzer and what have you. But the audience that's tried and true are the Gen Xers and the people before that. I can't think of those people.
Oh, baby boomers?
And the baby boomers. Thank you. So that group is consistent in their wine purchase, and I'm not going to say they don't have a social conscience, but that regionalism is not as prevalent with them. So it's interesting to see now that we've almost done a full cycle of this quarantine behavior, what have you, how the trends are changing.
You just said wine, like the sales have gone up. More people are buying wine. In those numbers that you have for that, is it like more domestic wine, more foreign wine? Is there wine in a certain price point? Like people are buying, like, okay, wine sales, like bottles under $15 has gone up versus other things.
It's interesting because it's two categories that have gone up. It's the cost of more expensive wine for baby boomers has gone up, but the cost of wine under $20 a bottle has also gone up. So it also depends on the demographics of those age groups that have driven down the price. And then for some people, it just hasn't been negotiable. They have chosen to buy more expensive bottles of wine. I guess they figure if I'm going to be home, I'm going to enjoy the good stuff.
That or life is fleeting, and they're like, well,
yeah.
So I can't take this money with me.
Right.
So
right.
let me just go ahead and splurge on this $200 bottle.
Yeah.
I still am not at that place yet to spend that kind of money on wine.
Can I ask, what's the most y'all spent on a bottle of wine?
Ooh, a personal bottle or like a flex for the...
Oh, it don't matter.
Oh my gosh. How about that?
Still finna be low.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, my number's still finna be low. I don't think I've done more. Have I done more than 50? If I did, it was a long time ago.
I have spent close to 200. Excuse me. I have spent close to 200, but it was and it wasn't even for me. It was it was a gift.
You love that person.
And it was like a milestone thing, and so I did that. But I have never spent over maybe $60 a bottle for myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did that person appreciate it that you got it for? Like, did
they know? Did they know the value?
Right?
Oh yeah, they knew. Yeah, okay. Like I was not going to do something like this for.
Yeah, that's probably another thing too.
Yeah.
Doing that for somebody who's just like, okay, pop this open, let's make mimosa.
Child.
That would be a fight.
I told y'all my situation where somebody did that to me. I got a magnum of rosé champagne. So like nice. I pulled that thing out. Mimosas.
No.
Like, murder everybody in this room.
Did you say something or you just kept quiet?
The look on my face.
And then a rosé at that? You use that for
right.
mimosas?
I'm like, and they went and got orange juice and everything. I was like, are you
No.
I was like, this is rosé. What are you doing? This is all wrong. This is all terrible, all wrong. This is fine wine, like capital F, capital W. What are you doing?
No.
I was about to take it back. Like, you know what? Y'all don't deserve this. I'm taking it back home. Carrying it like a baby.
For me, I have a hard time spending over $40 for a bottle of wine unless I'm at a winery and I'm experiencing something. When I was in Seattle, well, we were outside of Seattle at a winery. I was at Chateau Saint Michelle. And so Chateau Saint Michelle is like phenomenal when you visit. That trash that you have at Fridays, that Riesling and their Gewürztraminer, they just make that for that crowd.
Masses, yeah.
Their actual winery is fantastic. And it's like a castle. So anyway, we were there and they have some other brands that are also set up inside this big, huge castle. So I think the most we paid for a bottle there might have been like $75. But after a fantastic experience, and I did the blogger thing where I wrote ahead of time so they knew who I was. And then it was a one time that we had like a car drive us around the winery. So we looked like we were somebody for a day. And it was just a good day. And so, yeah, we felt good. The wine was fantastic. And so that's the most I spent because I was there, the vines were there, and everything was right. But I don't see me doing that in a wine shop.
Yeah, I think when you go to a winery, I think you get caught up in the.
Yeah.
And
I think you absolutely do get caught up for sure.
You get caught up.
Yeah. But enjoying the wine club.
Yeah, everything.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
They slide that little piece of paper at the end, like, if you enjoyed this flight, please give us your email address.
And you like, and my social security number, my bank account.
Right.
Yeah. My thing with spending money on wine is, and being somebody in the wine industry, loving wine, tasting expensive bottles, to buy it for me though, I would spend the money on it and then would get it home and then would never think of an occasion or a group of people that were like important or special enough to share it with. So now I've spent this $150 or $200 on this bottle and I have it for so long. And it's like, okay, when am I drinking this? Who are the people that I'm sharing this with? What occasion do I think is important enough for this? And that's the thing for me. Now I get, but they're like, oh, just drink what you like whenever you want and every occasion, special occasion. Every day is not a $200 bottle occasion.
Sure.
And also you want to drink it with someone else because you don't want to, you want to savor it when you drink it. So it's not a, let me drink this bottle by myself in 2 days kind of situation.
Yeah.
So how do you, that is my thing when it comes to an expensive bottle. And also being around people that you can share it with that would appreciate it.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to be very selective. Well, I'm very selective with that.
Because you're gonna make me mad. You trying to like, oh, okay, let me have this with this, McDonald's. Like, and I love McDonald's, but
I had my very favorite wine bar, the the Wine Institute of New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
You can buy glasses you can buy it by the ounce there.
Mm-hmm.
So I intentionally go there to get the most expensive wine, because then I can have it and not necessarily buy the bottle. But it's funny too, because I got some of the higher end wines and I'm really disappointed. I was like, I would have been upset if I spent $150 on this bottle and just be like, oh. So I don't know if it was because it's been in the machine too long or what, or is that just how that particular vintage was? Yeah.
I think we could probably do a whole nother show on expensive bottles and vintages and
sure,
being disappointed or happy or what occasion or how to open it, because then even thinking about Dorothy Gator and then her husband John and how they do the open that bottle night, because bottles that they're saving for this special occasion, like, oh, open it for any occasion.
Mm-hmm.
In theory, that is great, do open some of those bottles. But, if you're someone that lives alone, or just you and your spouse, depending on how much you all drink, how much you spend on a bottle, you do want to open that on a special occasion.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, if your life is at a point where you're like, oh, 200, that's nothing. Let me drink this on a random Tuesday night. I mean, hooray.
Mm.
But most people's lives aren't like that. And if they're spending that on a bottle, it is a special occurrence. And so they want to save that money or that wine for a special time. I mean, somebody being born, somebody graduating, something, some life-changing, some, special event.
Yeah. Bree, what's your answer?
I'm coming up.
I would say the most I've ever spent on a bottle was at Brown Estate in Napa. I visited, go ahead, Saria.
Oh, no, I was listening. I'm just nodding.
Guess where I learned about Brown Estate from?
Oh.
Looking at y'all. Oh, God.
Oh, you learned that from Saria.
But when I went there, I think I got a bottle of like their Duppy wine that was about $55, and that was the most, and that was a gift, right? I think it's so interesting. Sarita, y'all have so many episodes in here. You need to do an episode about like gifting wine, like expectation versus reality and everything. I gave it to my partner's sister, who I just turned 21. Did not.
Wow.
She definitely wasn't going to appreciate it. Mm-mm.
Oh no, Bree.
I was in my like feelings. I was like, this.
Wait, how did you know? She opened it with you? Were you with her?
Yeah, it was like her birthday, and I was like, no, you have to let it chill. You have to chill it. And she was like, we drink white wine all the time. And I'm like, okay, at UC Berkeley, like, chill. This is the fucking best shit you'll ever have. But anyway, the most expensive wine I've ever had was the Screaming Eagle. One of my ex's dads, we went to like some like Brazilian steakhouse or something. And I liked it. I mean, I didn't know how much it was until like after the dinner. I think it was like a $1,700 bottle for some reason. But again, it was like one of those heirloom things, it's like a bottle from the year that so-and-so was born, or, from someone's hometown, or, things like that. I think it's so interesting how we associate memories with wine. And Tanisha, I love what you said about like savoring it. You want me savoring a $12, like Grenache is chill. I enjoy that. Mm-hmm. But if I were, celebrating someone's promotion or a new baby, you would go in an entirely different direction. And it's fascinating to me how like the wine I choose for myself is very different from the wine I would choose for someone else. But yeah, that's kind of where I fall. Typically, the bottles I like to get, just because the shop I love is a natural wine store, fall around the $15 to $18, maybe more like $12 to $18 range. That's kind of me topping out of, treat yourself. And then $20 is bubbles, things like that. That's kind of where I fall.
I'm gonna bring up the Discovery Plus travel show with Jada and Bobby. So these are the glasses that they were drinking out of. I'm gonna hide the price. Y'all probably know how much these are, but I was like, oh my God, they're so gorgeous. Okay. Can y'all see? Wait. Tilt. Can y'all see it?
So, tilt and put your hand at the top.
Oh,
Like, it is a full reflection.
Why is that not working? Oh, there it is.
Okay,
Can
there
y'all
we
see it?
go.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, now we can see it. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, we see it
Like,
perfectly.
Yes.
Massive,
those are
like
beautiful.
big bulb burgundy glasses. And then somebody we know posted them on a Facebook group. If y'all know, yeah. And I was like, oh my gosh, those are the glasses. That's the brand. Look it up. I was like, wait, I don't even
Who
have
are
wine.
Who are they producing? Like, who makes those glasses?
Zalto.
Oh, okay. There, that says it all.
Yeah. So for 6, they're on Amazon for $4.39. I was like, I don't even have wine that costs that much. What would I be drinking out of these fancy ass glasses? So
Will that make your
no.
$12 wine taste better? Like, put it in there.
Does it?
I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced that will happen.
But hey, just buy one and see. Just buy one glass and see.
Wait, what's
But I would be so nervous that like I would chip it or the stem would break and I'd be like, oh my God, that's $129 that just went down the drain.
I mean, do they come in a velvet box that I can keep closed?
I trust me with a glass. And also because I live alone. So like nobody else would touch it.
Oh yeah.
Like on average, if I had kids or there was another person, like those aren't, like even with wine friends, I still probably wouldn't even bring out a set of those. Like I wouldn't buy it to bring them out them. Like, no, that's my special tasting glass. That I use for my photographs and my videos. Like no one else can touch this. I'm with you. Episode. Do glasses make a difference? As far as like the price, I mean, we know that the shape does. We know that for sure. But the price of glasses, can I go get a Crate and Barrel glass versus, $100 plus Zalto glass?
Yeah.
I think there's some, at one point the return is diminishing. But I do think like a higher quality crystal, you do notice a difference. But again, I think you have to be in the industry and it's very nuanced.
Yeah, you might have to taste them together in order to know.
Yeah.
Like I've done Riedel tastings before because they do those often, or just they'll be at conferences.
That's about that brand
stuff. And to taste different things in different glasses side by side, you can taste the difference sometimes. So but I think like what you said, Leslie, it tops off at a certain point. I think, and going back to wine pricing, I think the same thing. At a certain point, you're like, is this wine does this taste like a $500 wine?
Right.
Or can I just spend $75 and get a wine equally as delicious? I think at a certain price point, you're like, okay, this, I don't know if this tastes $300 good.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think that goes across many industries because I'm looking for new pots. And I've talked to a few people or cook and they're like, oh, well, don't you think they all should match? And I was like, I don't know if I'm that girl. Do I need my pots to match? But I care more about like the quality of the pot, whether, they match or not. And they were like, well, you do stuff on Instagram, but like, it's not showing my pot. Most of the time it's showing like a plate, showing the plating, but not like the pot. So I don't know,
Yeah, I wouldn't think you needed to see, your pots don't need to match because nobody should see those. Like people who say, oh, your pot should match, like, you must be serving out of the pot.
I mean,
which is a pet peeve of mine.
And they're displayed like that's part of your kitchen decor. But I just want a good pot,
Right.
Yeah.
And there's some that you hold on for years. You're like, I ain't letting this go.
Yeah, because my non-sticks are no longer non-stick. So it's like, oh, it's time to retire these jokers. So yeah. Anywho,
need to match.
So I thought it would be fun for us to pair a wine with a politician or something in politics.
I love this.
So,
I'm so excited.
Oh, you're excited. You're going first. Yay.
Oh, let me tell you why I'm excited. Okay. I live in New York. I live in Brooklyn. And, before COVID, I would, just be making my way downtown, walking fast, faces past, and I'm homebound. Like in Manhattan, living my best life. And there was this bar that AOC used to work at. And it was like my haunt when I was like 25, 26, 27. Literally before the 2016 election, I would just go down there. And I distinctly remember every time, like, there's this really nice girl who works at the bar. And she's just really, really kind. I would leave her tips. And I'm 99% sure it was her. I feel like the timelines actually do overlap. But from that experience, I feel like what I associate with wine is very much AOC now. Like, I don't care about betraying my politics. I'm very thoroughly democratic, like legit. But I just feel like I associate my cocktails whenever I'm in like a dire situation. I'm like, I have eggnog and absinthe, and we just got to make something happen. Like okay. I just associate like crazy, interesting drinks that I make at home with her. And I feel like maybe it's a generational thing. And also, you just kind of make what you can with what you have. But whenever I'm drinking cocktails, I kind of always channel AOC. But whenever I'm having wine, I like to imagine myself as like a Michelle Obama meets Olivia Pope mashup experience. And I like to challenge myself to wear like all white while drinking wine. Because like I'm grown and I can, I don't make mistakes or whatever. Never works. But it's just so interesting to me how like my politics are very much informed by like women, or my drinking is very much informed by women of color, kind of in the political space, or, who just kind of like take up space wherever they are. And I feel like that's, so when I saw this prompt of, like which politicians would match your drinks, those are the two people who kind of came to mind. Not that Michelle is necessarily a politician, but, like political adjacent.
That's a fantastic answer.
I know. Are we supposed to go after that?
Thank you, Brie. I would say the QAnon people, I think of them as expired wine. I'm over it. Let's just get beyond it. That is my equivalent.
You think you're fully oxidized, like only good, like not even good to cook with, like
not even good enough to be vinegar, right?
It's not even doing the salad dressing. This is
it.
On the countertop for like 10 days, no cork.
Right, right. It is done.
Oh.
Nasty, yeah.
Oh. That was like palpable when you said.
And y'all can't see her face. There is disgust. I'm drinking Brazilian bubbles today. I chose Brazilian bubbles because I came across this article in the New York Times that was talking about the wave of Black politicians in Brazil. And there's this city that has a Black female mayor for the first time ever. And it's called, let me see if I can get her name right. Okay. Her name is Suela Rosin. And she is Afro-Brazilian. She's 32 years old. She's a TV broadcaster and a gospel singer. She's very conservative. And she's the first woman Afro-Brazilian to be elected as mayor in the town of Bauru. So cheers to Brazil and cheers to Suelen. I follow her on Instagram. It's all in Portuguese, but I still follow her. Of course, she's gorgeous.
Girl, and you just put the see translation button at the bottom. Just see
there
translation.
You go. But of course, I found this Brazilian sparkler from Gran Cata. They have a new location. Well, it's not that new anymore, but they have like a little section in La Cosecha, and that's near Union Market for DC folks. So you don't have to go as far as 7th Street in Shaw. But I got a Brazilian bubbles there. It was very easy to find. So just shouting out to Brazil, because this is the type of shit that you do not see in headlines. And I could barely find an article on her that was in English. Not much publicity at all. So
not necessarily one's a politician, but the Black women who made it happen in Atlanta. We're talking Keisha Bottoms, we're talking Stacey Abrams, we're talking these women who were often underrated, but are the backbone. I think about an underrated grape, but is necessary for a blend and it makes things happen. I think Cabernet Franc.
Oh, I love it.
Because I love Cabernet. It clearly stands alone, but most people, are like, oh, okay, look at it in this great Bordeaux blend. But without it, the wine would not be held together.
People here either love it or hate it. And then we're very picky
Black
about
women.
it.
So there it is. Same.
It's true.
Way to go.
Love that. Love it.
So
amen.
Great
Amen.
analogy.
Oh,
Yes,
girl.
great
Yes,
analogy.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I loved everybody's answers. They were all different. Yay.
Yes, because we love us some Brazilian bubbles.
Mm-hmm. Y'all got me on that bubbles. Sarita, you got me in a bad habit of bubbles with fried chicken.
Welcome to the
Because
madness.
it is literally the best.
It's so good.
It really
so
is.
good. It's so good.
But we
So
eat
good.
a lot of chicken in this house. So I'm always like, babe, we're out of Prosecco. Babe, we're out of Cava. Babe, we're out of Frizzante. Problem.
And he's like, what's wrong with y'all? Why do y'all drink? Listen, I want a cast iron skillet that works on the induction stove so bad so I can fry some chicken in here. And so they're like, oh, fry it in your nonstick pan. I was like, you sound dumb. We're not doing that.
Do y'all even have like the oil to fry chicken in? Do they sell lard?
I would probably fry it in
Did you not go?
crazy
You went to it.
duck fat or something.
Oh,
No,
ooh.
girl, I
First
have
of all, that
Crisco.
sounds delicious. I know that'd be crazy
Yeah.
expensive, but that sounds
It would.
wonderful.
No, I have Crisco.
But you can't. You'd have to for duck fat. It doesn't do well for a long period of time at high heat.
I
You'd have to mix it with
like confit at first, and then
you'd have to mix
Yeah.
it with like a cannoli or something that is at high heat, but you still would get the flavors of duck fat.
huh?
Yeah. No, I got Crisco. We just gonna do it with the Crisco. We're
There
gonna
you
make
go.
Crisco up.
Okay, Brie, you know this part of the show. Random, not so rapid. Okay, everybody, where do you get your news?
Twitter.
Your what?
Your news. Where do you get your news? Like your Twitter. You get your news from Twitter?
I get it from Twitter, and then I go see if it's correct. Like I check it out. I feel like
But when you
Twitter's the
when you
most
go
breaking news.
But when you go see it,
That's
where you
the
go
first. It depends on what they have said, and they'll put in links and stuff like that. So, but I feel like Twitter gets the stuff first. So like they get it before news sites.
CNN and NPR.
to? Okay.
Yeah, I would say I get a lot of my news from podcasts. So I listen to a few like morning or daily podcasts. I think the New York Times, the daily, is pretty good most days. And also ABC News Start Here are really good like news everyday podcasts. But otherwise, I just subscribe to quite a few newsletters. So I subscribe to, I think, CNN Reliable Sources, which is like a media news newsletter, and then Washington Post 202 or 102, and there's like a financial politics newsletter, then a general politics newsletter, and honestly, depending on my anxiety and like the subject line, some days I'm just like legit like delete, like archive it, and other days I legit like feel brave and I'm like I can read this. But that's typically where I like to go. I try to find a few outlets that I can trust in addition to independent news organizations. One of my favorite newsletters is called Beauty IRL. I'll send a link if you're interested to read it, but it's a Substack newsletter that looks at the intersection of beauty and culture and like news. So everything from, like the fact that Sephora only sells 8 Black-owned beauty brands in their collection of over 300 brands.
Wow.
Really thinking about, the implications of like Instagram filters that, make your lips bigger and your eyes look a certain way. So I try to find quite a few like newsletters and independent journalists who share really strong content. And once I find that, it's like I kind of just can like tune back into the stream. But I'm with you, Tanisha, though. Twitter, a lot of the times I'll kind of get my headlines and then get a sense of, diving deep and kind of comparing and contrasting sources.
Cool. I have 2 apps. Well, I have Washington Post, of course, and I watch local news. I watch our local NBC, and there is an app on my phone that came with my upgrade, and it's called Newsbreak. And
Oh,
yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
times it
Mhm.
hits my phone before anything else.
Yeah.
Because, you know, CNN and big networks, they have to make sure everything is accurate before they post. Like, I remember when Kobe died, Newsbreak hit me, and I was like, wait, is this real? Why is nobody else saying it? But they just wanted to
Mhm.
confirm everything. But TMZ had already put it out there. They got it. So anyway,
yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I rely heavily on my apps.
I feel like a news diet is so important right now. You know, you just can't be getting anything from everywhere because not everyone has your best interest at heart. And we see that all the time, right? With live events where, you know, someone will say, oh, you know, this car was set on fire by protesters. And it's like, well, actually, if you look carefully at the video, you know, like so-and-so happened. I feel like secondhand news is really dangerous. So I love that, you know, we're all kind of trying to get as close to the primary source as possible.
Yeah. And I try to it's very hard to exclude the news that's right in your neighborhood. So that's why I like to get up and watch local news to see what's actually going on here.
Mhm.
Yep. Next question. Last vegetable you ate?
Leek. I had a onion and leek tart. So
Huh.
It's delicious. I made it. Used 2 dishes.
You should be very proud.
And a fork. And then I also ate with the same fork I cook with, like, because that's a thing. I'm like, some people are like, oh, and then get a new fork. I'm like, for what? No, I'm not doing that.
Okay.
Do you make a lot of tarts?
I wouldn't say a lot, not now. Now, first lockdown last year, I was making a bunch of tarts because they're so easy. I just buy the pre-made crust and then just put a whole bunch of stuff, you know, on it, in it, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Super simple. And I mean, I keep cheese at the house, so it's just a really easy thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good.
What about you, Brie?
I don't know if I've had a vegetable today, I'll be honest. After this, I might go just warm up some collard greens just to put some kind of nutrition into my body. But before this, I definitely had a beet, which was pretty good. They're not always my favorite. I think it just depends on how you cook them, right? Like if you were a kid and beets were like in a can and you hated them, it's like, beets. But I feel like I'm trying to find like good ways to prepare them so that I look forward to them because they're really good for you.
Yeah.
I had a thing this summer, well, last summer, where the beet was sliced really thin, and then it was goat cheese on top of it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Sliced red onion.
Holy God.
Also some cornichons sliced up real small, like relish, and that was on top of it, and then a little olive oil. When I tell you that thing was so delicious. And I was like, is this a salad? Like, what is this called? It was delicious. I was making that for the rest of the summer.
Yeah.
And it was so easy. I couldn't cut my beets up that fine because like I don't have a mandolin. And I'm like, I'm not trying to put my fingers off. So my beets were a little chunkier. And then I took to just cubing them and then put it all together in a salad. But this was beautiful. It was laid out with like the thinly sliced beets and then the cheese and then the onions. And then I was like, this thing here. But yeah, that's something nice to do with beets. And I used to be like, ew, beets, like gross. But now I'm like, well, I eat so much more stuff now.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead. I was at a wine dinner once and it was a beet salad, but they were all different colors. And they topped it with, I forgot what herb it was. It might've been, was it mint and goat cheese? Or feta or feta and mint. I can't remember, but again, it was placed beautifully. They were sliced thin, all different types of colors, and it was so good. It was really, really good. So, yeah, I haven't looked at beets the same since that. So, yeah, anytime I see a beet salad on a menu, I'm getting it.
Delicious.
Yeah. What about Leslie? Did you answer? No.
Oh no, I had.
Leslie looking like no, she ain't had no vegetable.
I had to think about it because I was like Brie today. I have not had a vegetable. I've had fruit. I haven't had a vegetable. Yesterday I had spinach. I made a spinach omelet.
Oh, yum.
Mhm.
Those always win.
Yum.
Leslie, do you have any egg omelet making secrets?
Yes. You got to have the right amount of fat in your pan. That is really important. Then you can toss anything with that. But if you don't have enough fat in there, it's going to stick, and it's just a scrambled egg after that.
Thank you for that. I'm going to take that to my oven tomorrow morning.
Bunch of butter. What's
Mhm.
What's my last vegetable? Oh, one of my like struggle breakfast bowls is like leftover rice, avocado, and spinach. And if it's in the morning, I'll add an egg. But yeah, that's what I had today. That was like a struggle lunch. Just rice, avocado, and spinach mixed all together with some olive oil, salt and pepper, that kind of thing.
That sounds good.
right?
I
I'm like, it
refer
doesn't
to
sound
that
like a
as
struggle.
ghetto fried rice.
It works. It works. I like
Right,
it.
and I'm like ghetto because that sounds actually like what fried rice should be. So
All right, the money question. If you received $4,000, what would you do with it?
girl, I need a new phone. So I'm
You
getting
need
myself a phone.
$4,000 for a new phone?
No. That's one of. I have. So I need a new phone. So I'm gonna get that. Probably a computer. And I saw this Hermes bracelet I want, and so I'm gonna get that, and then I'm gonna buy some GameStop stock.
Ha. Ha. You know, I had to listen to 3 people and read an
Girl.
article to understand what actually happened. Like,
I had to
what?
smooth listen to a trillion things to understand.
Like what? But then I still can't
girl,
explain it to you. I get it, but I can't explain it to anybody.
I can't explain to you not one bit of it. The person who explained it to me, it sounded like wah, 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 wah. I was like, okay. And they was like, you get it? I was like, uh-huh. Right. Okay.
Crazy.
Then I stopped caring, I think. But yeah, we're going ahead and do a little GameStop stuff.
Okay.
That's my 4 G's.
Bree, what about you?
Oof, if I had $4,000, I would try to save as much of it as possible. I just did a terrifying thing. Can I tell you what I did?
Please.
Because I'm a little bit tipsy, so I'm like feeling,
Girl.
open.
Please.
I calculated the amount of interest I've paid on my credit card.
Oh, girl.
Yeah, that's scary.
We don't ever do that.
You don't do it on your credit card, and you don't do it on your student loans.
Student loans, that make you want to jump off a roof.
I mean, head first off a roof, okay? Not even trying to save yourself. Feet first. No, you're diving off the roof.
But just when I saw that number, I was like, so that was free money for Chase? Like just like free.
Free.
Wow, cool. Will I ever see it again?
Never.
But if like with $4,000, I'm like, the first thing I would do is like, get my mom like, some furniture, like a cuter apartment or something.
Oh,
I know, right?
So nice.
So tragic. And the other thing I would probably do is invest in like a community agriculture program. There's this woman who I follow on Instagram who just took a converted convenience store in like Louisiana and just turned it into like a market garden, like a farmer's market, just like fresh produce, and it was just like a convenience store where we get our snacks and everything. But I just thought that was so powerful. And then she was giving a breakdown of, how hard she's been working and the amount of money, and it just felt very doable. And I feel like now more than ever, people need to see like another side of things. So me loving gardening and loving food and all these things, and I'm sure all of you are like huge foodies, so you can relate. But I just feel like the level of knowledge that we have about food, even down to like nutrients and knowing that like beets are good for you, even if you don't like them, that's not available to everybody, or not everyone has had that kind of an experience. So when I think about $4,000, I would want to like earmark at least, $1,500 for, like admin or something, just to make it easier for the people who are trying to do this monumental work. That's what I would want to do.
You're a giver.
Yeah. That is nice.
Selfish. I'm keeping 4 G's for me.
Still 2.5 in this pocket.
Désolé, but no, me.
I would spend it on front row tickets to see Beyonce.
Huh. Okay.
Sounds like a
ultimate flex. I love it.
Well, yeah.
Thank you. Spend it on you, girl. Yes.
I mean, when you have those type of tickets, your walk is different when you walk in.
Right. When you walk in, what you wearing?
Oh no, I know where to go. I don't need the
shoes
escalator.
You wore in are different.
My box is right here. I'm on the bottom floor.
Right here, 4 and 5. Right here.
See you. Like she'll be
trying to get the cart to drive you up to your seat. Excuse me, everyone. Oh, this right here. Thank you. Beep, beep.
I'm sorry. You need to see my ticket. Here it is.
Wow. Yeah, I had a girlfriend who had front row tickets. It could have been the Wizards or something, what have you. And so she took this is what happened. The Wizards were playing LeBron when he was in Ohio. Okay. And so she took a picture of the tickets and posted it on Instagram.
She ain't had the price.
And no, of course she did not have the price.
No, that was.
And Sarita, you know who this is too.
Oh.
And the tickets were like $2,000-$3,000 courtside.
I mean, she didn't even have to show the ticket. Honestly, if you
on the wood, if you know
from your seat, you know how much your tickets are.
Right.
You show your feet cross on the wood, like we know how much your tickets cost. Like you only have to show the thing.
When you take a selfie and you turn the other way, so the court is behind you.
Yes,
exactly.
It's blurry because they're playing the game.
Yeah, right there. There's the player. I can see.
You just see streaks going by. You like, oh snap! You like right in action. No, let me get on the floor. I'm taking pictures of my feet on the hardwood and just being like, at the game.
Exactly. Or like, oh, I got a little sweat on me. See that?
Yeah. Location, just Staples Center, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Just
I'll be like, y'all watching the game?
Right. Y'all ain't seen me.
Yes.
That's a good answer. That's a really good answer.
What a flex.
$4,000. I think I would take part of it, like $1,000, and start like a not like a scholarship, but like a kind of like a podcast scholarship for kids in high school. So I would choose one kid to sort of mentor who wants to do podcasting and, show the ropes, that kind of thing. I like hearing kids talk. Kids are, especially like city kids, they are very interesting. Very, very interesting.
Yeah. There's a if you wanted to get involved with this, Sarita, there is NPR sponsors a national podcast competition for middle school and high school kids.
How cool is that? I love it.
And I would say like in September, they had announced the winners, but it's an annual podcast. And it was cool too.
That's so cool.
The podcasts were really good. They played them on, I forget which show they play them. It could have been I forget what Sam's. It's Been a Minute. I think he played it on It's Been a Minute. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think
cool.
That's
Nice. All right.
What are you going to do with the rest of the 3,000?
Sorry. That was just part of it. Okay. I would probably get some sort of desktop with a very large screen or 2 screens.
Like computer hacker status.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would get but I want to turn my office is very small, but I want to turn it into half podcasting situation and then the other side like loungy. But I don't know if I have enough space for that. Like I would love somebody I could send my send a picture to like HGTV and have somebody just design it for me. I don't have
Hey,
the
girl,
patience for that.
You got 3 Gs. Get some decorators.
Like, I'm
going.
gonna just tell you what my desires
Mhm.
are and what I do, and you do it. Yeah.
You just come home one day and like, oh my God, it's done. Oh my God, I love it.
But I wouldn't be able to, like, $4,000 wouldn't get you to hire somebody to redesign a room. So once we get up to like 10K, maybe. I don't
You can
know.
get some nice pieces with the 5,000.
True.
Yeah.
But see, I don't want to do it. I don't want to figure that out. I want somebody else to do it for me.
You can probably pay somebody to tell you, like, to look at the space and be like, oh, okay, buy these things. I think you can
Okay.
do that. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's an option. Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's the
All right.
consultation fee, girl.
I have someone in
Next.
mind for you.
For
There's
you.
an interior designer named Dominique Fluker. She works out of the Bay Area. She was just featured on Apartment Therapy. She's the sweetest girl. She does editorial like Glassdoor, like that, like the job site. She does all their editorial. I'm gonna send you her link. She just opened like a small like boutique interior firm. Yeah. And she probably at least like help you source a couple of pieces.
Yeah.
Like a nice ottoman and like a storage situation and
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. All right. Next question. If there is a snowstorm coming, what is the first item you run to get? Everybody
I
thinking?
mean, like, as in to huddle in with you while during the snowstorm.
Yeah. Wherever you whatever your answer is. Like,
Oh,
we
okay.
just had a snowstorm. Was there something on your mind? Was like, oh, I can't be without da 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 for 2 days.
Oh,
Or what do I need? Like, I can tell you my answer is eggs. As soon as I saw the forecast, I opened the fridge. I was like, oh, we got eggs. Okay, woo. Because
You that person
Yeah.
like milk, eggs, and
I
toast.
don't need milk. I don't need milk. It's the eggs. Probably like
Oh, no,
eggs.
I'm just saying, like, people always go get milk.
Yeah,
It's
it's
any
probably
kind of
the
storm in DC. It's like, oh,
eggs and
What are
eggs
y'all
and cheese
buying?
for me. Yeah.
And see, I always have those things all the
Mm.
time. So, like, I don't think, like, maybe bread. I'm about to run out and get like a couple baguettes, but I don't think I'm running out to get anything before a storm.
Okay.
Bread in France is so fresh, right? Like you probably buy bread every 2 days, And here I feel like
People
they
buy
just
it every
you
day.
just buy bread. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I know.
And here it's like you
I
buy
have a package of brioche buns that's been in my kitchen for 2 weeks and they have not molded yet. There's nothing on them. I was like, that is scary. That is scary. And it's still
Are they-
soft.
Oh no, that's a problem.
Isn't it?
Baguettes,
But I'm still gonna eat it though. I mean, it's in here and they still soft,
listen,
so I'm
it's
still gonna
there,
eat
girl.
it.
Go
But
with it. Go with
I was
it.
like, the preservatives in American food is insane.
yeah, that is crazy.
Crazy.
I'd be careful about that.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
I recently am making a fire. like I have discovered my caveman. So as soon as they said it was going to snow, I ran out to the backyard to bring in firewood so it would not get wet.
Girl.
Leslie, you are a woman after my own heart. Oh my gosh.
Mm.
Yeah, that was it. That was my big
the
thing.
roast marshmallow. We finna s'more it up in here. Okay.
So is your next place, does it have to have a fireplace now that you've got
it
attached
does.
to it?
It's
Yeah.
so that, and it has to be, so, in Pretty Girl County, you can only have a wood burning fireplace on the first floor. You can't, and the other floors, it can be electric or gas, but it can only be wood burning on the, so now I'm like trying to figure this out. So, cause I want it in my bedroom now. So then when I wake up, I have,
Yeah.
I can set the fire or what have
Oh my
you.
gosh, the sound. Ah, that's nice.
I have a question. Sorry to raise my hand. Is there an option for a home with a deck coming out of the master bedroom suite?
Mm,
Oh yeah.
that's nice. Fire pits.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Hmm.
Well, there's that. I mean, I don't know nothing about that because I live in an apartment.
Some apartments have fireplaces.
But they do, but not we can't have fireplaces in the city.
Oh.
I mean, some people do, but you're not supposed to. I mean, you're not supposed to light it. You're not supposed to use it.
Right.
Had it, but you're not supposed to use it in the city. Yeah. Because I have a decorative one in my bedroom. But like that thing one time I was like, oh, can't use this. This thing is.
Do you take pictures in front of it?
No.
I feel like that's what Black people do with fireplaces most of the time is take pictures in front of it.
No. And it's nice, all marbled out.
Okay.
It's closed. That gate is closed on it and everything. I don't know what's behind it. I've heard noises back there. I'm not opening that up.
Okay. Well,
be a full disaster. No.
That's their business back there.
Listen, sometimes the wind blow hard. I can hear the wind blowing in there, so I know like it could actually be used for a fire. But I can't mess with it.
The thing that when I saw it was going to be a snowstorm, bones for broth.
Yeah,
that's like what I can't do without. So we have some legit when my partner was like, oh, it's going to snow. I was like, psh, whatever. We go to the farmer's market, don't get anything. And then they were like, no, it's inches. I was like, do we have any bison bones? We gotta do. And they were like, we have a pack of bison bones. We have a pack of kielbasa. We have 2 packs of chicken legs. Chill. And I was like,
listen, things I've never said in my life.
I was so scared of it.
That's so funny.
I've never uttered. Hey, we got some bison bones? No, we don't have none. Okay.
Oh, damn, they're right in the freezer. And I was like, because I was like, we don't have any lamb bones. We don't have any duck. That's like my easy, no fail favorite thing when it's snowy, or just, when you're like working and in between Zoom calls and you're like, I don't have time to eat. You just warm up. Like it's a cup of soup, right? Mm-hmm. So that's what we have.
So what you're saying is you eat like the broth by itself.
Oh no, we put noodles in it. You put noodles in it. You put rice. You can make like a curry broth. No, I just need to have like stock, basically.
Got it. Totally get that. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, I need to have stocks. Like, bro, do you want to know what's on the oven right now? Like,
okay.
It's very important to me just because it's so easy to like not nourish yourself and to not eat, especially right now in COVID and being at home, and like if you skip dinner and then you're angry and you're like, why? Because you haven't eaten.
I wish I had that skip meal thing or forget to eat.
I'm the opposite.
I do not.
I'm trying to forget to eat.
Yeah, that almost never happens to me, and it needs to.
Listen, I need to skip some.
No, it doesn't.
I need to skip a couple.
Mm-hmm.
You're just eating crap. I'm like, what season? You go off. You're just like shrimp, grits.
We live on the water. It's so easy to get seafood here. And then if you go to the wharf now, there's no line. It's cold. Nobody's there. It's perfect to get seafood.
Yeah. New York isn't known for its seafood, so I'm happy that you're enjoying your location.
Yeah, man. All right, last question is for Bree. It's perfect weather. You spent the morning in your garden and you decide to take a break. What are you sipping and what song are you playing?
Ooh, what am I sipping? It's something chilled. The first thing that came to mind, I'm going to look it up exactly. It's from a producer called Mein Klong. It's
the Austrian wine.
It is. It is from one of my absolute favorite importers here in New York. That's what I'm sipping because. Go ahead. No. I want to hear it, Tanisha. What do you think of it?
Oh, I love it. I've had some of the red styles and then the rosé.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, it's like a Pinot Gris mix. These like German wines. I'm like, Weischt who? But it's like Welsriesling or like Wels Riesling, basically, I suppose. And it's frizzante, so it's a little bit of like a pucker, and I love that in the garden. Fun fact, I got banned from drinking in the garden because I've spilled wine in it. So now I have to drink like on the perimeter. band is, and my partner was like, this is actually untenable. But because, you know, I'm trying to be serene. I'm on my Instagram being like, pouring, you know, into a glass and it just spills. But that's what I'm sipping. And what song is playing? When you asked that question, the first thing that came to mind was Ella Fitzgerald. Just like, you know, anything that's very, you know, like kind of slow and lazy and like luxurious. And yeah, I think that's what I would be up to. It's so funny to try to even imagine a garden when it's like 6 inches of snow outside, but yeah, it's gonna happen soon.
Yay.
I know, right?
Yeah. Bree, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. This has been an absolute blast.
This was such a fun episode.
Fun. Always
Where can everybody follow you?
You can follow Bree Books Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud. I actually just did an episode about my like COVID-19 like wine essentials. So it's like, you know, like the 5 wines I think everyone needs to kind of like have in their, you know, like wine bank, as it were. And you can find me on Instagram at Bree Books Pod. You can also follow me personally, Brionna J, Brionna Jay, and I do a lot of food, beauty content. Working at a magazine kind of makes all that very like easy and applicable, but I hope it's a good part of the internet. That's my goal, is just to be a bright spot on someone's feed.
And you definitely are.
Bree, do you have any good books to recommend before you leave?
Good question.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for asking that, Leslie. About wine in particular?
Or just in general. But if you have some wine-centric books, that would be good.
Okay. Well, yes, I'll give you 3 books because I want Tanisha to go to bed. Thank you, Tanisha. I always love listening to you on these episodes because I'm like, she is up. Amen. Just out here.
Listen, I was like, I got to smooth 10 more minutes and I'm out.
I know, for real. I want to respect your time.
Like, I'm going to be asleep on the show.
A wine... So one book I need to read is Cicely Tyson's autobiography.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I got to go ahead and get that, in my own words. So I'm very excited to read that. That's kind of one book that I need to get my hands on. A wine book. Let me look at my bookshelf right here. This is a fun one. This is called Fire and Wine. Ooh. 75 smoke-infused recipes from the grill with perfect wine pairings.
Is that Mary Kressler's book?
It is Mary Kressler. I love Mary Kressler.
Yes.
She loves Mary.
Mary. And her husband.
Oh my gosh.
When they announced they had a book. Because before that, we were like, why don't you have a cookbook? Because like y'all doing some amazing things with the grilling and smoking and wine.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Yeah, they do.
It was nice to see their book in the wild.
Nice.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't have a smoker or anything, but we like to kind of get sometimes smoked meats and things from the market. And it's convinced me to buy a smoker. But it's just a fantastic book about like flavors and how I'm preaching to the choir, but I'm learning more about, like flavors and how things like acidity and level of, kind of like charcoal or, like volcanic rock in a wine can really shape the flavor of it. And I feel like this book it's just beautifully shot. So yeah, it's Fire and Wine, 75 smoke-infused recipes from the grill with perfect wine pairings. And even if I don't have that meat, I will sometimes seek out a similar wine from my local wine shop. So that's a very good one. And the third book, I'm trying to think, what book have I read recently? Your Money, Your Life, investing and saving in your 30s. Let me go pick up this book.
Yeah, girl.
Well,
we probably don't.
Exactly good. But I'm sure we can learn a lot.
Right.
Probably some
this
things
might not be your target
do.
audience.
There's a 20s book There's
Okay,
one
let me get the 20s one. Let me get the 20s.
There's one for your 30s. There's one for your 40s, 50s, and 60s. I've requested those 3 from the library. They haven't come in yet. And I'm just like reading them in order. And it's just so fascinating. And it just reminds you like that it's never too late. You know, like people are like, oh, money, I wish I had. It's like, okay, wish is cool. Right now, you can still move forward. And I feel like these books are just, you know, as someone
as long as it gets you together and not makes you feel bad, like, well, what you should have done is the following. But since your options are limited. No.
Exactly. And it's like you can literally the shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? You know? And it's like the best time to start saving was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. Like,
okay,
because you know,
we're on second best.
That is, I feel like that alone is so valuable. You know, just like money mindset, like shifting things like that that I've been really enjoying. So I will report back once I read the other ones and just see like what stays consistent and what changes. But it's just really good to just get your financial literacy up. And we're talking about, you know, GameStop and stocks and all these things and economies and like the geopolitics of wine to, I guess, bring it, you know, full circle and lobbying and how where one embassy is in the world can affect like a global economy. Like that's wild when you think about it. And then how it trickles down to us on our plates and in our glasses. So I'm just trying to like, you know, just get a better handle on everything. So those are the books I would recommend. Fire and Wine, Your Money Life by Peter Dunn. And the last one was, what was it? I forgot. Oh, Cicely Tyson's autobiography.
Yes.
Thank you.
You got your reading materials, Leslie.
Thank you.
Y'all don't get it. Like I've trained my whole life for this.
You know what?
Some people wait a lifetime for a moment like this.
Stop trying
my
to gas us.
Great.
Girl, you're already on the show. You don't have to gas us no more. It's good.
Leslie and Tanisha, you guys have anything you need to share? You want to share before we go? Before we go, I want to say a big thank you to the folks who have been shouting us out for Black History Month. We've gotten 2 shout outs in one day, which is awesome. One from Pods You Should Follow. Wait, no, Pods You Should Know. That's the whole handle on Instagram. Pods You Should Know. And they shout us out. Also, a mixologist who is shouting out Blacks in the industry this month. A Glass Above, and her handle is a glass above _ and I think her name is Daisha, and she's a mixologist, so I think it's pretty cool. Sometimes when we're doing this, we don't really know who's listening for real.
Right, so just us listening,
right? It's good to hear, and we appreciate your comments. We're glad you're enjoying the show, so that's pretty awesome. Oh, also follow Burger and Wines. She's also she organized something really cool this month. Tanisha, Leslie, and I will be participating. I don't know if y'all share it, but the calendar is on my Instagram. I post on the 7th. What are your dates?
Tanisha and I bring up the rear.
Yeah.
we bring up the rear.
Okay.
27, 28. Strong.
So follow all of us and follow Burgers and Wine. It should be a lot of fun. Oh, next week we're gonna have chef and wine girl Joe and Brene, it's crazy that they met. I didn't even know how. I'm curious about how they even know each other. Joe was a chef here in DC. He was working here. His food is fantastic. Then he moved to California. And then all of a sudden I see him on Instagram with Brene. I'm like, how did that happen? That's crazy. It's wild. So now they have a YouTube channel and they have a YouTube channel together and it's really cute. And so they're going to tell us all about it next week. Well, that concludes our episode, everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We love comments on Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to the Swirl Suite. Enjoy the rest of your week. Cheers.